Well, France 24's correspondent Irris Makler is in Jerusalem. Irris, what do we know so far about the details of this plan? How is the Bennett government planning to go from 25 to 50,000 residents?
The plan is based on investment. There was that celebratory meeting, the celebratory photograph in the Golan Heights. And this is our moment, says Israel's Prime Minister, invest, invest, invest. So that €250 million over 5 years will go into creating 2 new population centres, small towns in the Golan Heights. And it will also go into the aim, at any rate, is to turn this area into the capital of ecological technologies here. So, for example, definitely based around agriculture, you'd have solar panels above a crop field with the aim both of assisting crop growth and creating electricity. And they want this to be a centre, this area to be a centre for those kind of technologies. And they hope that that will double the population and that investment will return to them from that doubled population.
All right. Well, Israel's annexation of Golan is, in fact, still not officially recognized by most of the international community. That doesn't necessarily mean this is a controversial move, though, does it?
Not inside Israel. Arab Israeli politicians did say this is not Israeli territory, it's Syria. But I think in terms of mainstream Israeli public opinion, the thought now is really very pragmatic. Not only are they attached to the Golan for strategic reasons, it just doesn't seem reasonable, practical to do negotiating with Hafez al-Assad after the kind of war that they've had there for the past 10 years. So I think for all those reasons, it is unlikely. This is not seen as a controversial move inside Israel at any rate.
Well, the cabinet meeting itself was a bit unusual, though, wasn't it? The prime minister himself had to actually leave early to go into coronavirus isolation.
That's right. You know, this was the first cabinet meeting where rapid antigen tests, everybody had to take one. They were all found to be fine. They then went into the cabinet meeting, first time since the beginning of the pandemic. However, both the Minister for Education and the Prime Minister found that 2 of their children had tested positive to the virus, although they were vaccinated. So they are now in isolation. And I think that just shows that although the numbers here are nowhere near the numbers in Europe, you can see that restrictions are starting to come in. They will be reimposed this week because the trend is ever upwards, as it is everywhere in the world at the moment. So these 2 politicians, including the Prime Minister, I think are emblematic of the next steps that are going to have to be taken here, including possibly a 4th booster shot, which Israel may be pioneering starting next week.
Absolutely. We've been hearing about that potential 4th booster for Israelis possibly coming up quite soon. We'll be keeping an eye on that. Irris Makler in Jerusalem, thanks very much for being with us.